Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Debo. Hey, man, we just gonna chop it up. That's the reason I changed it, of course, as we know today is the first day that we're back on the air live, and Will Martin and the difference will be moving to Thursdays uh, starting next week. So today, Jermaine and I are just gonna chop it up and open up the phone lines. What you want to talk about, Mano?
Well, today is a new segment called "Do It Till You're Satisfied."
No, no. No. You can't always do it till you're satisfied. Sometimes you have to leave a little bit on the table.
Well, it's a new year, and when I say "Do It Till You're Satisfied," that just means having new goals and
Aspirations and things
aspiration,
like that.
and instead of just talking about it, just do it. And when you do it, you'll see the results, which would make you satisfied.
So that was boy.
Well, bring that thing on
Boy,
home,
that's a
Doc.
genius. That
Come
boy,
on,
that
Doc.
boy's a genius.
Wait, boy, that boy good.
But I wanted to ask you, as we kind of bounce off one another, what have you found that as we go into this new year? Have you found things that work well for you
Yeah,
last year that you're going to carry into the new year, or some things that you want to like change up
yeah,
when it comes down to like parenting and grandfathering and things of that nature?
yeah. Well,
Life. We'll just
life.
open it up to
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
life. Well, in life, man, I've actually added more prayer time, man.
Hmm.
And that's adding more prayer time is what really keeps me grounded.
Hmm.
Um, because I'm only human and I have feelings and emotions and stuff too. So there are things that happen throughout the day that in the past I might have handled them a certain
Hmm.
way. But now, um, being that example for my grandson and for my kids to see growth in me.
Hmm.
So just doing things that make sense, man.
So you acknowledge that having children and
Oh,
and grandchildren have changed you.
what? Listen here, man. That that was one of the greatest things that could have happened to me because again, being raised right, been raised as a PK kid, always knew the right way, um, and knew what I was supposed to do, but
Mhm.
it didn't always make the right choices.
So let me ask you, why do you think that we don't see that same effect in our community? Whereas violence is up and this that and the other, that this doesn't seem to be that compassion for our fellow man, and the life doesn't hold the same value that it once did.
Yeah,
Whereas I don't want to hurt my brother
yeah.
type thing. Why do you think that we don't see that in society anymore?
I think if we're gonna have the real conversation, you can't fix it until you admit it.
Hmm.
And the issue is a lot of us are hurting from
Hmm.
whether it's childhood, pain that you might have went through, um, and that's a lot of hurt in our community.
Hmm.
We don't know how to address these hurts and even get to the hurts because some of these people that's walking around with this pain, they can't identify it. They don't know
Hmm.
what it is, so they think it's normal. But in reality, it's something that's really rooted, that's deeper than the surface.
Now, I've heard folks say things like, "Well, we really saw society begin to change when we took prayer out of the schools," and
Yeah,
I mean, is that something you would concur with? I mean,
I would and this is just for me, and I've been
and,
saying,
and again, let me just say this quickly. Hold
yeah,
hold that thought. Phone lines are open if you want to get in on the conversation. 444-5250 or 444-5253. Certainly join in on the conversation. It's not limited to just Jermaine and myself. Go right ahead. You were saying.
yeah, and this is just for me. Mental illness didn't just start in the 2000s.
Hmm.
It's always been around, and looking at it from that standpoint, when we was in school and we did have the prayer, the stuff that's happening now wasn't happening then. Even
Hmm.
though mental illness was still around, and
Right.
it was still, mental illness was, 'cause since they're pointing, like these school shootings and things like that to mental illness,
Hmm.
and which is, I mean, I agree, is something. However, if that's the case, that same dynamic was available then. So why wasn't they coming into the schools and shooting then? Mental illness was around then.
But I don't know that guns were as
Guns
prevalent.
was around then. Yeah, guns
They
was
may
around.
not have been as prevalent though
Oh,
as
it
they
was
are
prevalent,
now.
bro. It was prevalent in the 80s and 90s. Guns was.
I thought you were talking further than that, but I guess you can only speak to
yeah, from my era.
right.
So
right.
I mean, like even in y'all era,
Mhm.
guns were still available. People had guns,
Mhm.
but they wasn't coming into school shooting. Why is that?
Kids didn't have them. I mean, but
But
they
the
started
parents had 'em.
started getting them in the late '80s. They became more available with the gangs and
Right.
all of the stuff that kind of
So
and,
why
and it
didn't
wasn't that gangs just started back then. There were
Right.
gangs prior to that,
prior to that?
but there were more knifings then versus shootings.
So why, if you look at the school dynamic,
hmm
why wasn't this stuff that's happening now happening then?
Well, I can't answer that. I mean, I don't know if it's that we're getting closer to the return, if you will, or the rapture. In case you never mind, everybody gonna be raptured, Jermaine.
Well,
for the record.
yeah. I know that, but I mean, but the question is, again, a mental illness didn't just start.
No, but I don't know that we were able to identify it as
Still.
easily. I mean, you remember we changed it to mental illness because there are those that are physically challenged or mentally challenged. But we would just say that he's mentally retarded or whatever. We deemed him as being crazy,
Right.
versus realizing that they really had some some real issues. That
I
it was
get that.
medical more so than just being
So
crazy.
okay, so let's go away from the terminology. The same stuff that's happening now,
hmm
whether it's mental illness or whatever you want to call it, was available then, and it was around back in the day.
hmm
Why wasn't schools being shot up then like they are now?
I can't answer that, but what I do know is that they've got this thing they call a copycat,
Okay.
and because Dylan got so much press and he became this, a martyr, if you will. I'm gonna do that too. I want folks to remember me. I want to go down in history. If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna, So I think a lot of it is copycat,
So-
and it has become what people do to really try to garner attention, if you will.
Okay, and that's a good response. So let me ask you this. In order for it to be a copycat, it has to be a first.
Yeah.
So why wasn't the first back then like it is now? And the only thing
Maybe
I
it
can
wasn't realized that was a target that could do that for them.
no, but what I could equate to that,
Mhm.
the only thing that's different from now to then
Mhm.
was the covering of prayer.
I'll tell you what else is different. Social media.
Yeah, social media plays a big part, and this is the conversation I was having too with people. You got to be careful of what your eyes and your ears do. Your eyes seeing, your ears hearing,
Mhm.
because that's the gateway to your soul. That's the gateway to your heart. You seeing this stuff, and you wondering why you feeling a certain way, but that stuff is really growing inside of you. So you find yourself, prime example, for those people that get their first look at porn. You look at it first time,
Mhm.
but then you find yourself right back at it. So now you're in this tunnel of watching porn
Mhm.
because if it dragged you in.
Mhm.
So your eyes saw it, it related the message to your mind, but now your heart desire it.
Mhm.
So it's being careful of what you see and hear.
I don't know that you necessarily could even, and that's a great analogy when you spoke to the porn, because it really speaks to something that could
Pull you in.
Yeah.
The
So
way to grab
let's
you
go to
in.
the phone lines. We got a caller here. Let's go to the phone lines and see what say you. Good afternoon. You're on WNOV. Go right ahead.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
All right. How about yourself, my brother?
Hey, all right. Blessed to you all, Debo,
Yes, sir.
and the rest, the crew. I'm hoping I'm not on the radio. I was trying to get a little information.
Yeah, you
concerning.
you are on the air.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I was calling. You guys are running an ad concerning a mattress for like $89 or something like that. A bed.
I don't know anything about that. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to get you out there.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be on air with that. So.
Okay. Well, thanks for the call, man. You have to try us back after 12 o'clock.
All right.
Then
I'll
try
do
back.
that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
You know, Jermaine, what I was saying though is that certainly when you start looking at not just, I mean, everything about society is really changed when you look at what's being shown on television and the cursing and the words that are allowed to be said and the different things that you see in the way of sexual interactions and so forth and so on. I mean, there was a time when I look back to I Love Lucy.
They had 2 beds.
They had 2 separate beds. They did not show. You never saw them, embracing and doing all of that. I mean, it just wasn't allowed for, and it's just gotten loose and loose and loose and loose.
But answer this, and I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
You said from how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show, but why didn't they show that? Because they knew the power of what you saw.
I don't know that they knew that. I think it was more morals and values in our community.
But yeah,
in our world then.
But that all ties into what you see, because if your morals and values are off,
mm-hmm.
and if you project that, that's what people are going to do. So if your morals are good, you're going to show good morals.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to show to what you believe. So that's why they showed the 2 beds. They didn't show kissing. They didn't show cussing. They didn't show that stuff because they knew, one, it was a family type show.
Mm-hmm.
So kids are sitting around watching it. And by the kids watching it, their mind is still forming.
Mm-hmm.
While your mind is forming, you're looking at the stuff which is becoming a part of you.
But when you hit that, it's like you said, kids are watching, but then when we really, really go back and we look, man, kids went to bed at a certain time. There were certain things. You call my house after this time of night.
Yeah.
It was inappropriate to do so.
Yeah.
You knew you didn't call sister so-and-so house because you wanted to talk to her daughter.
Exactly. Oh, no, you doing that.
No, you didn't. And just overall, I mean, we just move differently as a society, man. I mean, we've gotten into so much now that I don't know how you go back. There's no way to turn back at this point.
So you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can't do. And I had this conversation and told somebody, you know how they said, they used to say, man, those was the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after a while, these are going to be the good old days. And
that's
gonna
scary.
Be the good, that's what I'm saying.
That's really scary.
If these going to be the good old days,
mm-hmm.
man, we in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because, man, there was a period of time that you'll be sitting watching movies with your family, your parents, and the kissing scene to come on and they'll cover your eyes, boy. Because they didn't want you to see that, because then it would intrigue something in you.
Mm-hmm.
Something would spark. Like, oh, what's that? I want to try it. Now you trying it. Now you're going down this whole rabbit hole of seduction because they're pulling you in.
You think back, man, well, your mother might have company over. There were certain conversations that weren't going to be held. You weren't privileged
to. Man, go outside and play.
Yeah,
go in the basement.
We'll go there with them kids. Ain't no kids in here. Get out of here.
Even when it was time to eat dinner and you had people over,
mm-hmm.
they had the kids table,
mm-hmm.
and they had the grown-ups that would eat in the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
They'd sit around the dining room table and eat, and the kids would eat in the kitchen or in the basement where they had the tables and spread out. So if you're
mm-hmm.
having something big, all of the kids you in the basement eating, and all of the grown folks, they was upstairs in the dining room, in the living room.
Yeah, but you just think, man, I mean, I pull up to the stoplight, man, the music just blaring, and I mean, any cuss word you could imagine is in the record, and you look in the back seat,
and there's kids,
and he got kids in there with him.
But not only that, but you got them riding around because these parents think, oh, my kid don't know. So you smoking, you riding your kid in the back, you dropping your kid off to daycare, your kid coming to school, his clothes smelling like nothing but weed.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in with your head scarf on and this and smelling like weed, but then you want your child to grow up and be outstanding citizen.
A doctor and a lawyer and all of this.
But the stuff that you're putting around, and again, it's seed and harvest time.
Mm-hmm.
Your kid, that seed you put in your kid is is like fertile ground.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever seed you plant in that kid, every day you around that kid, you're watering that seed you plant in that kid. To whether you say, "Oh, he's going to be a champion," or "I can't stand you. You look like your daddy."
That's a whole nother one.
Either way, you're watering that
Right.
seed.
Right.
So when that seed grows up, and again with growth, you got roots, and those roots are strong.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just pick it and pull it out. You got to dig deep and uproot, and it's a lot of work when you uprooting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you allow this thing to grow, that child becomes that seed that you planted.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to, oh, my son or my daughter is doing this, but what did you expose them to?
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you what, I'm looking at the clock, man.
Yes,
Looks like
sir.
we're up against the break. Let's go ahead and take the break, and when we come back, we're going to pick it up. We'll open up the phone line. Certainly encourage you guys to just chime in. Tell us what it is that you think we can do to improve as we go into this new year, what this city looks like. You're listening to 860 WNOV and 106.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. 860 106.5. Listen, it's the Debo and Rideout Hour. The Debo and Rideout Hour. And we have a caller. Let's take the caller on the air. Let's take the caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi. So I have a question and a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
My thing is this: what happens when you've shown your child all of the right things,
Yeah.
and they still go the wrong way? Because the Bible says, "Train up a child in the way that he should be brought up in, and he will not depart from it." So I'm really curious as to what your answer would be to that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I can speak from my experience. However, the scripture is right. Train up the child. So when they grow older, they will not depart from the faith. So it might seem like that a person stray away for a season, but at the end they will return because I'm a living witness.
Now, I got a question
Yes,
to
sir.
both of you.
Yeah.
I want to be certain that we're quoting that scripture correctly.
Mhm.
I believe that it says that you train up a child in the way they should go, and when he becomes older, it will not depart from him.
Yeah.
Meaning he knows the way
Okay.
whether he follows it or not.
Right.
Not
exactly.
that he won't depart from it,
Right.
but that it won't
Mm.
depart from
It
him.
it won't leave him because
Right.
for the
So let's use it in the proper. That's all I wanted to add to that.
It's so when that whole scripture, and I'm using me as an example, was raised in the home, father's pastor, mom's first lady, teaching and training was right. They did everything right. However, when I got older and I was able to hang around certain people, the people that I hung around
Mhm.
went against what I was taught.
Mhm.
But because I was around that, I started doing what I was around, even though I knew it was wrong. So every time I did it, it was fun, but I knew it was wrong. And that was because of me being brought up and trained right. Because the word, again, is that seed that was planted in me. So the older I got, and even though I was still doing wrong, I still knew right from wrong. I still knew I shouldn't be doing this.
No, because it was
Because
planted
it was
within you.
planted in me early. So
Okay,
then,
okay, I give you that, but look at this though. Whether you're trained or not, and just take it for what it's worth, whether you're trained or not, every time you get ready to do something wrong, there's a second or two, maybe even 5 seconds in time when it comes to you and you say, you know what, I'm about to do something wrong. I think it's all on choice. I think it's the same choice you have to either follow God or not follow God.
well,
I don't necessarily believe completely that it's all on the parents or what they've seen, because you yourself as a grown up after 13, you get that moment where you say, should I do this?
but
Or shouldn't I do this?
but the whole pushback is you have households that are not teaching right from wrong. So they are allowing any and everything to happen. Prime example, you might have a little kid that fall out in the store. I mean, falling out, tearing up stove. To another parent is, why would you let your child do that? But to that parent that's allowed in is, oh, he's okay or she's okay. Don't worry about that. But then you allow this to go on and this become who this child is. So then when they get older and you tell them no, they don't know how to take that. So if it's a young man that has never been told no, and you got a female who he's trying to holler at and she turned him down, then it's, well, I didn't want to talk to you anyway, B. And it's the whole thing of being disrespected. But in reality, your feelings was hurt because you don't understand the word no.
Okay, I get you that. I'm not gonna keep on with you like that, but I'm gonna just say this. I gotta say this. You know right from wrong. You got eyes and you can see. You know when you go into a store, if you cussing somebody out, or you're just not gonna walk up to somebody and bust them in their jaw, and you don't even know this person. They ain't never did nothing to you unless you have mental illness.
Wait,
So
or
you can see good and you can see bad, and you can make a choice.
that is
It's
true.
all about choice.
That is true. But if your choices that was only given to you was violence and cussing people out, and you was never taught the other side of choices, those choices that you make is gonna seem like common sense to you.
Debo, what you think?
I disagree. I don't think that buffoonery becomes common sense even to the person that's putting it down. It just don't. They know that they're doing wrong. I agree with you on that.
See, but if you come up in the household and wait, hold on, wait, listen. if you come up in a household that everybody in the house is doing drugs, selling drugs, hustling,
Mhm.
you're gonna think that that's the way to go.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Mm-mm.
Yes, you do, because that's all you see. You become a product of your environment, bro.
But you when you leave that environment, you see other people that are doing well, that are not living like
But
that, are
if
not
you're-
doing that,
I get it.
and you know that your family,
Yeah.
this is how we live, but that's not necessarily how we have to live,
But
or
if you
I have
don't-
to live.
But if you
Because
don't,
I can say, hey, let me give you an example. There was a friend of mine, and he calls here from time to time. I'm just going to share this. He works out at the VA right now. His name is Kevin Butler. I remember he lived on my block, and his stepfather, the Booge is what we called him, would bring him outside and would say to him, "Hey man, look down there," and he would look towards Burline. A lot of renters down that way. And then everybody on the other end down there, we all owned our homes. And he would say, "Now you want to be them folks down there that's renting, that's moving, and getting put out every other month, or you want to be like us down here?" So, I mean, regardless of what you see in your home, when you come outside, you see others that are successful, whether you're going to church,
it was talked
whether
to.
you're going to school. I get it,
sure.
Jermaine, but I mean, I'm
It was
just not
talked
going to give anybody the option to just say, I never saw nobody that was successful. I
didn't say
didn't
that.
know it was wrong to cuss that lady
No.
out, or
No, what I'm saying is, Debo, if you train and you go work out and you train the wrong way, guess what? Your muscles is gonna be off.
yeah, and they're gonna tell you that they off because you're gonna hurt something.
Right. but you didn't know you was training wrong until you started hurting.
Hmm.
So what I'm saying is, as a child, when you're being trained, if all you see is hustling,
Let me ask you a question, Jermaine. If you go to any prison,
Mhm.
90% of the folks in there that you talk to, do you think any of them will tell you that they didn't know that they was wrong?
hold on. Not that, but I am going to say this because we did go to Waupun,
Hmm.
have a conversation about 4 years ago. What they did say was it was the product of the environment. It
I
was
get
the
it,
environment.
but
that
how
they
many of
brought.
them told you that they didn't know that what they was doing was wrong?
Well, no. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: if you're brought up in that environment, that's
That's
what
fine.
you're going to be. That's what you're going to desire. Like
But
prime
that
example,
does not speak to the parent who showed the child the right way,
right?
and their child goes the wrong way. What
Right.
you're saying is counterproductive.
No.
It doesn't.
No, what I'm saying is, if the child is raised in that household that all they see is mama and daddy hustling, smoking weed, doing drugs, that's what their child. That child is going to
by
believe
your-
that that's what life
But
is.
by your own conversation that you had and what you spoke to, you saw totally different. But there was a period of time that you became that hustler,
because
and you was out there
because
and
I
you
was
doing
around
this,
it.
but that wasn't the environment that you were raised in.
wait, listen, hold on, wait, listen.
So you contradicting
Well, no,
yourself.
no, listen.
Okay, go for it.
Listen. So what I'm saying is the environment, and I'm gonna put me in it. The environment I was raised in church, right? So I was doing all of the church things until I
Mhm.
got old enough to pick who I wanted to hang with.
You chose that
Hold on.
environment.
That was a choice.
Mhm.
Hold on. So just like she said, it was a choice. So I chose to hang with these people, and by me choosing to hang with these people, this is what I did because I was around it. So to flip it back and run it back, being trained in that household of somebody that the parents hustle, the parents is teaching that child how to hustle and get money, and that's what that child is gonna know because of what he or she is only doing what they know until you change, which is a choice. So they would have to make the choice to come out of what they know to learn something different.
But it's available to them. You have
I
to
didn't
want,
say it
you
wasn't
have to
available.
want different.
I didn't say it wasn't available. I said they would have to make the choice. And by you making that choice, you know it's available because you're making the choice.
Mhm.
However, you're changing from what you're used to and what you know. And all you know is mama and daddy hustling. And all I know is how to get money. Now, once I start getting in trouble, then you realize, hey, this is not good. I got to figure something else. That is when you at that crossroad, you make that change.
That's the choice.
Exactly. That's the choice. And when you at the
Nothing to do with
crossroad.
training.
No,
Has nothing to do with training. It's the choice you make at that
Right.
crossroads.
I
It's a choice.
I understand it, but you guys are missing what I'm saying.
We're not
before
missing
that.
it. Caller, we thank you so much for the call. We got another
Thank you,
caller that would
baby.
like to
Happy
get
New
in.
Year.
Thank you. Same to you. WNOV, go ahead, caller, you on the air.
Hey, all three of y'all is kind of making the same point in a different way, but off of what Jermaine's saying, like I can use myself for example. I consider I was raised right, but the friends around that same age, 13, 14,
Yep.
mamas that let us do
Yep.
anything
Yep.
in front of them.
Yep. Yep.
Like the biggest drug dealers I knew was my guys who mamas was cool with it. We could bag up. Well, not to get all in the detail, but we could do whatever in front of their mama.
Yep.
So even though I wasn't raised like that, these is my friends.
Yep.
But that's what you chose at that point. You knew.
Yeah,
you-
so back
But
to what
his
Jermaine
friends,
saying,
but his
it got
friends
to
was
a
raised
point
like
in
that.
time, even though we was making bad choices, you would get back, or hopefully don't nothing happen to you in the street or whatever, and you had time to get back to the way you was raised.
Exactly.
right.
Because my mama wasn't with it, even though she knew what me and my friends were doing. She wasn't never with it, so I couldn't come around my house doing that. But I go to my friend's house and we could do whatever.
Exactly. Because your friend household was made like that. You can do whatever in that household. You can smoke weed. You can bag up dope. You can do whatever because the parents allowed it.
Yep. So again, it is a choice, but hopefully you live long enough to make a different choice or a better choice because you was raised right. Because my mama was the mama I had, I was able to, kind of stay on the. I didn't go too far off the path because I did have a good mama. I put it like that.
Exactly.
Even though I went off the path, I still, I knew, but
You knew you was
like
off the path. You knew that wasn't.
You learning as it ain't like you know,
Right.
learning as you go. So,
Mm-hmm. All right,
so
man.
that's why I say y'all. It's like everybody making the same point in a different way.
Yeah.
So then my question to you is how do we fix this or turn it around or pump the brakes and try to figure out what we can do to make this a better society for us all here within the cities of Milwaukee? What more can we do?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a clue.
Okay.
It's so many problems, and it's like, man,
Is
then like,
it a problem that our elected officials
a lot of people
can
my
fix?
age, they treat their kids like they're their friends.
Exactly, bro. There's a problem with our age and our kids because we in our 40s, our kids are in our 20s. So the people that's in our age group is still kicking it in that arena of 20 and 30-year-olds. So you still going to the club, you still going to doing this and doing that, and your kid is hanging in that environment that you are in. So there's no separation between, hey, should I not do this and mama and daddy be mad, or you know what, I'm doing this and mama and daddy is right with me.
Yeah, they doing it with mama and daddy.
All right, well, thanks a lot, man. But again, now, is it something that we got to look to elected officials, or do we have to look within our own selves to try to fix this?
It's with us, man. It's with us because you can have rules and regulations,
Mhm.
bro. If we don't change, ain't nothing gonna happen.
Let's go back to the phone lines. NOV, who's this? Good morning. You got a question or comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn this down. I'm sorry. First of all, the problem is these old heads don't want to get old.
Yeah,
They want to be relevant.
yeah.
That's why y'all got on them overly tight pants with your boys having heart attacks and strokes with them chugs talking about, hey man,
You're right.
with that busted Seville that needs a muffler, but you saying you got doors on it. See, I can't learn from nobody like that.
All right, Al.
I can't learn from nobody like that. I
Right.
like wisdom and growth.
Yeah.
I don't like people stuck in the past.
Yeah.
And also, I was going to say to the people who said with the Republican Party, ask them why they don't live in Republican zip code. It should be 530, nothing that's 532, and the addresses shouldn't be 4 digits. Happy New Year. Bye bye.
Thank you, Al.
Yikes.
Hey,
Hey,
again, is it something that we need to be looking to our elected officials or within ourselves, man?
so let me ask you. So what would you, if you had an elected official in front of you right now,
Hmm.
talking about the situation, what would you ask him?
I believe that there is a need for, and I know the biggest turn that I saw this city take was when Scott Walker pulled a lot of the funding
From
for
out of the
mental
inner city, yeah.
for mental health, and he
Yeah.
closed a lot of the stuff out on Watertown Plank Road, and they released these people,
Yeah.
if you will. I'm not going to say release as if they were in prison, but certainly they weren't able to get. A lot of people don't get the mental health assistance that they were once getting.
Yeah.
Now I know they just recently opened up the Marsha P. Coggs facility and this, that, and the other, but I personally think that that's a big part of it, and it has gotten to a point where you are hard pressed to go 2 blocks and not see somebody that you know is going through a mental health situation, because some of the things that you see,
Yeah.
it's just like that.
Yeah.
You know nobody with good sense
Yeah. Well, yeah.
would do it.
Yeah.
Looks like we got another phone call. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning. I put my phone down twice. I picked it up again.
All right, go right ahead. Help us out here.
Happy New Year, both of you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
One thing we cannot give up on our family, our children, elected officials. We have to vote and we have to know what these people are about,
Yeah.
just like they do over in other zip codes right in Milwaukee.
Hmm.
If that elected official does not do what the people say, they vote them out, and they know it.
Hmm.
Out of Milwaukee, different parts of the counties in Wisconsin, they vote them out, and they know they're going to be voted out if they don't do what the people who elected them want them to do.
Mm.
But we can't give up on our families. And one thing I never liked, when people get together and have family dinners, they separate the children. When they go to church or whatever religious place you go to, they separate the children. I
Well-
kept mine with me.
Well, do you know why? Well, I can say this. The church realm, the reason why that they separate the children is because they have the children go down and they have somebody that can actually say the same thing that they're saying in the adult church, in the children church, and the children can understand it. Because if you no seriously, because if you get to talking about the scriptures and reading some of this stuff, thus thou thee, they don't understand that stuff. So they just
They understand it if they're sitting there. I love you right out. They
I didn't understand
if
it,
they're
and I was sitting
sitting
there. I didn't
That's
understand
what
it.
Eventually,
You know
you
what?
will just keep on sitting there.
No, but I had to go to Sunday.
Eventually.
No, but I had to go to bring them in. Shepherds bring them in. That was Sister Sunshine Man.
Hmm.
And being in the where the kids was, they broke it down to the kids' level that you can understand. Because
That's a parent's
you can't.
job.
But if the parent don't know how to teach the word or teach the Sunday school lesson, they can only teach life lessons. But if you
That's
bring them to church,
okay.
but if you bringing them to church to learn about the Bible and the parent don't know, the parent got to put them in a situation that they can be taught on their level.
I understand that, but with that separation, I never liked it. I never agreed with that. I took my kids everywhere I could. When I went to the grocery store,
Oh no,
I would say,
I understand,
sweetheart,
Yeah,
get what mommy
Yeah.
gets. And don't think my baby didn't go and really try to find groceries that we have in the house. She was 5, 6.
well, that's actually different because that's on the, as you would say, on the job training. So you got them live time. Hey, go do this, do that, and you got them with you. I understand that because I had my kids with me. But I'm
Same
talking
thing
about
in church.
see, but how you gonna
Wherever
teach?
you go, they're going to learn at church. In church, they're going to learn when you study with them at your house. I just never liked that. Okay, and as far as family dinners, you go to the family, you're in the basement. The kids are in the basement. The adults are upstairs. What do you think we're downstairs doing?
Well, they down there playing with all of the other kids.
Not
And they
necessarily.
well, okay. Well, I'm gonna speak from my household because I don't know about anybody else's household. So I can only
We
speak
did
from mine.
everything.
See,
What about
no, I can only speak
that
from my
naughty
experience.
cousin?
No. See,
What about the
but
naughty
that was the thing.
cousins?
But that was the thing, though. At our house, and this is the honest to God truth. at our house, like we didn't have those situations, man. So it was like
We
man, the
did.
kids played, all of the cousins came by, we all over at the house. Now, of course, there's 93 of us, so we was all in the basement. It's a whole lot of us, so it was people that was watching and playing. So like we wasn't worried about somebody touching this and doing that because we had
We were
older people
touching
that was
each other. I'm gonna keep it real.
see. I mean, and I can't knock that because I don't know nothing about it. I just know about my
It was
situation.
it was a curiosity of being
Exactly.
curious.
So, but where do you think that came from, though?
Being touched by other adults.
But where do you
My
think? But where do you think?
principal.
But somebody had saw something and it intrigued their mind that they wanted to try it.
Exactly.
So that's why I
Exactly.
said you got to be careful of what your eyes see and what your ears hear because it's going to translate to your mind, which is going to hit your heart,
Mhm.
and then you're going to
Yep.
do to what you see or heard. And that's why, again, with these drug dealers, how it was that big explosion after when these movies came out. They went to the movies, saw it, and thought it was cool. Everybody wanted to be Scarface. So now you come home, say hello to my little friend. Everybody saying the phrase because this is what you saw.
Mhm.
And right out, we had it all in our family: drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, everything. And there's some things my kids was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go over there.
Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
up
Yeah.
around everything. I said, I'm not growing up like that.
Yeah.
When I had my kids, I said, I'm not bringing y'all by there unless I am right there by you, and you're not leaving my side just so you know who your family is.
And you know what? Everybody knows in the family
Who
about cousin Ricky.
Yeah.
Don't let him go in Ricky room. Now
Yeah.
come out. What didn't I tell you? Don't you know? You
And
know
be
what I'm
ready to
talking about.
bust cousin Ricky in his
Right,
mouth.
right. Y'all know about Ricky room.
I love you all. I'm so glad to hear you on.
All right, thank you.
Don't bust
I'm
cousin
keep-
Ricky.
Listen, bye bye.
Don't beat up Ricky. Lord have mercy.
Man, oh man, oh man. But no, I mean, I wonder is it something that
Man, that's a good
that we go to? I mean, do we need more town hall meetings? What assistance can we be to one another to that parent who's afraid of their child?
I think
Because there's a lot of situations
it
like
is.
that where they scared to say something to them.
But I'm gonna tell you, and we got to take some type of accountability for this. When they implemented that, call the police. If your parents chastise you, because now you take away all my ability to hold you accountable.
Mhm.
Because I can say something to you, but then you mess around and I ain't doing nothing, and I can't do nothing about it.
No, you can't stay under this roof.
Man, what? No, you going in the ground,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna dig you up and put you back in the ground.
Oh boy,
Yeah, double dip.
you're violent.
Hey man, break time. Man. I felt some coming.
All right, y'all. The man has said something crazy. It's time to go to break. We'll be back right after these.
back to A60W 106.5 WNOV. WNOV. Man, we've been talking, great conversation, man. This guy, Debo, asked the question on what can we do, and he have a follow-up, huh?
Yeah, we got a couple of callers, so let's try to squeeze those callers in right quick. Go right ahead, caller.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Brother D-Bo, and right out, I'm looking to you, brothers, and welcome to the new year, 2026. Yes, sir. You were speaking about our community, right?
Yes, sir.
And your question, I think was it more for it to be with regard to the elected persons, or
Well,
would it be up to us?
Just what
Right.
what can we do as a community as a whole to try to fix us, to help us? And it doesn't. I mean, is it us that, or are we looking to our elected officials, or where do we start?
Well, if we look at what's going on with America, it's being dismantled single-handedly by one person. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this, that just because you live in the ghetto does not have to live, or the slums does not have to live in you. Just because you live in the slums, slums does not have to live in you.
That's right.
And, even though the environment, we understand, and we are very, very well versed in what we are experiencing now, is a reminder of maybe what we forgot, what was the order of the day for those who came before us. So a lot of us, I think this was best suited. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that there was three things that the Caucasian would do to us. He will first enslave us, second spoil us, and then third throw us away. Now, where you think we at in that situation?
Brother Christopher, hopefully next Friday we'll be able to do this show again, be able to pick it back up, man, and
Yes, sir.
keep the same
I'm
topic.
glad y'all still here, buddy.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right, we're trying to we think we may do this show on a regular every Friday.
Man, this thing feels
So let's
good.
move on. Let's take our next caller and just try to get everybody in before we have to get out of the way for Sharpton. Go right ahead, caller. You're on the air. Caller, are you there?
Going once, twice, three times a lady.
All right, well, that's going to do it, man. Listen, it's been fun, man. I want to thank all of the callers, Brother Christopher, and different ones who called in.
So I got a question for you, Debo.
Yes, sir.
Did you do it till you were satisfied?
I did.
See?
I did.
Come on and do it.
Something wrong with you, boy.
I just felt that note
You
was
need
needed.
prayer.
That note was needed. Come on and do it.
So again, just so folks understand what it is that we're looking to do, Will Martin's going to be coming on Thursdays at this same time. So we moving him around at his request, basically. And then, of course, the other programming will pretty much stay as it is. There's some other things that may be moving, but for the most part, we are just as we were. We ain't going nowhere. We got another caller on the line. Let's try to squeeze him in right quick. Go ahead, caller. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Go right ahead.
Hey, my mom was an alcoholic. My daddy was an alcoholic. It was 5 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
4 of my siblings all was alcoholics,
Wow.
and I was the only one that's not an alcoholic, and it's only 2 of us left.
Wow.
So I just want to say that it can happen.
Yeah, it goes back to, like I was saying about, I can tell you that in that same household we was talking about the booge, sister had some issues, another sister had some issues, but he made a choice, and a lot of times it comes
Right.
down to a choice.
Yep.
This you, Big T,
Yes, sir.
and you made a choice not to do no ribs, or did you do some ribs yesterday?
Oh, that's the cat with the ribs.
Yeah, this cat with the ribs.
Say, man.
Let me get off this phone.
Say, say, Jack, man, bring them ribs.
All right, man.
Man.
All right, we
With that
appreciate you,
seasoning
man.
he got. That's the cat
But-
with seasoning, right?
Yeah, with the seasoning and the ribs, the corned beef brisket,
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of
I
that.
just keeped off some this morning, some seasoning.
Oh, you did.
But you
Yeah,
didn't bring no
yeah.
meat with the seasoning.
I got you, man.
Man,
Take
bye.
your
Get off
time.
the
I got
phone, man. Bye.
All right. Thanks a lot, folks. Listen, that's going to do it for us. Another edition of Do It Till You're Satisfied. You just made up a name. Just said, come on and do it. You're listening to 860 WNOV and 106.5 FM. We'll see you next Friday, maybe. Who knows?
Hey, you satisfied?
Let's ride.